Huh? There. Oh. Huh? Durr.
Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with the Joker 1/6 scale deluxe collectible figure by DC Direct. Now, this is clearly not competition for the 1/6 scale Joker by Queen Studios. However, it's still an option for your shelf. The question is it worth your money and your time and your investment? Well, let's figure that out together and dive right the hell goddamn in. All right, so let's dive in together. Just pulled this out of the box maybe 10-15 minutes ago, and a couple questions that we got to get out of the way. First thing first, this is not a quality 1/6 scale figure. DC Direct pumps out, dare I say, junk, mediocre, kind of midline, entry-level 1/6 scale figures, which leads to why the hell do I even have this? Well, I am obsessed with the Joker. I need every single 1/6 scale Joker that is out there. If it crosses the 500 mark, well, maybe I'll wait a little bit. But if it's in the range, the normal 1/6 scale range, I'm going to buy it. I need to have it. I've actually been eyeballing this guy for about a year or two now, and I'm so desperate to fill my collection. I said, finally, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get this guy in the collection and get a proper review out there. Because personally, prior to this, there is not really many reviews on this guy. Again, it's pretty obvious it's a piece of junk. Now, one thing I will admit, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the head sculpt. All the pictures and everything that you see online, it just looks super washed out and kind of junky. There is a little bit of actual detail in it, some glisten to the gums, bloodshot eyes. Just overall, the head sculpt was a little bit better than I had anticipated. With that said, it's just a weird head sculpt. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. The more I look at it, I guess it's almost kind of growing on me. But initial reaction between my wife and myself was like, what the hell is that thing? I'm not sure if this was pulled from a comic that I don't know about or if some artistic source that I'm not aware of, because I don't remember Joker really ever looking like this. That being said, we always have to say there are different iterations of Jokers. We have to look at this through a different lens. And, again, after saying this for a little bit, it's not terrible. It still has that menacing, creepy look to him. Again, the gums and that big smile on him are growing on me a little bit more than they were through the promo pics and the eBay pics that I had seen previous. And just kind of one thing to note before we zoom out and check that tailoring, little flower piece here is actually kind of cool. That is more of a hard plastic. And then whatever we want to call this, I'm sure there's some official name. It reminds me of like a Western or a cowboy. This is just awful. Looks like a shoelace. It literally looks like a shoelace to like a baby or something. It's just really awfully done. Should have put a little bow tie or a tie or something on him. So, just kind of want to point that out while we were zoomed in. And let's kind of take a greater zoom out and look at the tailoring overall. Okay, so as you can see, tailoring's pretty sloppy. It's kind of like poofy and hanging up. Hit that weird little, they call this, I guess while I'm picking it up, we might as well note, this is the fish gun. Just thought it was a fish, Joker fish, but they call this the fish gun. All right, so I did that a little out of order because I dropped it, but that is one accessory. And I guess before we get to the rest of the tailoring, the other accessory here is the cane. And the cane is, believe it or not that bad. Let's see if we can get this in shot there. It's actually kind of cool. I enjoy the artwork on the cane there. There's no fake faux wood or anything. Look, it's pretty much just a straight brown paint, but I don't know. I actually enjoyed the cane. I think it's actually kind of cool overall. And lastly, we have these little cards that come with them. All right, so back to the tailoring, which was the original segue, which I completely lost track and went into the accessories there, and there are 4 of those cards. But again, back to this tailoring, a little sloppy. It's very poofy. He had that weird cowboy necklace up there, cowboy tie. I'm sure it has some official name. You have several layers to it. The tailoring overall is bad, but I guess the contrast of the tailoring, you have a little shine underneath and you have the matte regular cloth on top. striped pants down below. It's pretty great that there are still several layers for the price point. Overall, I think you can nab this guy between $80 and $110, depending on where you get him and if you get a good deal on him. So the fact that we do have several layers of clothing and accessories for that price point, we really can't complain too much. And then to note this piece here, I don't know why I thought it was stupid, but this is a wired piece here, which, some people might say it's kind of cool, but I think it actually ended up being more of a pain than not. I think it would look better had it just dropped normally behind him. Because of the wire, it actually doesn't look as natural as a flow to the back of that coat there. So just strangely, we would just only have a wire here and nowhere else to the jacket, because why would only that blow in the wind and then everything else stay stationary? It doesn't make sense to me. And then articulation wise, I just want to note the feet are just straight up pegged in there. They can't move. We can get a left and right turn, but there is no pivot. There is no ball joints or anything like that. So articulation on this guy is rough. Oddly, I think I saw that there was 27 points of articulation. The brand new mall and stuff that comes out recently are about 30 points. So I don't know how the hell they're quoting that this guy has similar amounts of articulation as a Hot Toys, but it's something to note, I guess, that is very similar articulation, but it felt like crap to me, especially the feet. And then the elbows and stuff here were very, you can't get them in. Oh, goddamn fish. Stupid fish gun. The elbow and the shoulder here, you can't really get them in much point past that. That's as stiff as they are there. And then you have a kind of a joint that goes out. It's not horrible out, but again, they were very stiff and didn't go past a certain point. As you can see, there's that gap there. I cannot get that to close. And just quickly to note, he does come with a stand. One company that I knock all the time, $200, $150 6-scale figures that do not come with a stand, and you have this DC Direct $70 to $100 figure come with a branded stand. So I don't know, it's just a little shocking and perplexing sometimes, but I think the stand that comes with this guy is actually really nice. Has a lot of space on the bottom. Beautiful branded Joker symbol right down there with a little Joker face in the O. And then overall, it feels pretty solid. So I was excited that this thing even came with a stand for the price point. I say even if he didn't come with a stand for the $70, I still probably would have ran with it. Okay, so here's the thing. In closing and before we slap a score on this guy, I don't know if I could ever actually recommend this to anybody. I would never go on my page and say, go get this just because it's a good price point. I truly don't think a good price point always justifies a purchase. In the end, it's what you're looking for and what you need. What I need is every single 1/6 scale Joker that ever exists, unless it crosses that $500 mark, because my wife would kill me. But if it's under that, I'm going to have it. I need to have it in my collection. And this guy is another example of that. Although I knocked it a lot of the video, I was a little bit more pleasantly surprised than I had anticipated. I thought this would just be a full-blown piece of crap garbage, something that I might be embarrassed put on the bottom of the shelf. However, the face sculpt ended up being a little bit better than I thought. We do have several layers of clothing in contrast. Couple pieces of accessories, the cane, which I actually do think is pretty decent, and on top of that, it's the Joker, so I think it's pretty cool. I think overall the look has grown on me a little bit. The more I stare at it, the more it does grow on me. But swinging back to the first statement, I don't suggest it. If you're not a Joker fan, or if you don't need them all, you don't need this in your collection. DC Direct is way more of an entry-level 1/6 scale company versus Hot Toys and the other quality companies out there. So if you need every single figure out there, then you might want to start looking into the DC Direct line, or maybe figures that they've never created 1/6 scale figure. I believe there's Shazam and some other ones under that line up there. So if you need it, you got to have it, then it's an option. Overall, I would not suggest this to my friends and family. So with all that said, what would I put as a score on this guy? It was pretty obvious. I felt it the whole video. It's a 5.2 out of 10. That's something that I wouldn't recommend. We don't go around saying, get a 5.2 out of 10, If you eat a burger or watch a movie and it's a 5.2 out of 10, you're probably never going to eat it or watch it again. In this case, a 5.2 out of 10 is a desperate attempt to get every single Joker in my collection. So, with all that said, KC Toys, 5.2. I actually think this is the worst scored thing we've ever had on the channel. So, KC Toys, worst scored 1/6 scale figure I've ever reviewed. Joker, DC Direct, pretty good Kane.